class of 2021 friends and family to this year's graduation. We will be your hosts, Maud, Niels, and Dan, and together with you, we will be graduating in a bit. Sadly, this will be yet another partially online graduation, but luckily, things are starting to look a bit better COVID-wise, and at least some parts of this graduation will be live.
During this online ceremony, we will be guiding you past some of our graduates' favorite locations in The Hague, so your friends and family know a little bit of what you've been up to these past years. We also have some awards to give away, some inspiring speeches by both students and staff, and some very entertaining performances. Yeah, so this is our first place. We start right here in front of the building where it all began on moving day 3 years ago. Our lovely Anna van Buren building. But we can't spend too much time here because the clock's ticking, so let's swiftly move on to the auditorium where we all had our first lecture together.
Welcome to the online graduation ceremony of the class of 2021 of Leiden University College. Not quite the graduation ceremony we had hoped for, of course, but we have to make the best of a bad situation, as we have been doing all year long. And what a year it's been. In and out of lockdowns, rules changing every few weeks, limited social and academic engagement. It was a year of serious appeals to our patience. Some were more patient than others. Some were so patient that they were in no hurry to use it. But this whole year has really been about solidarity. And solidarity is exactly what we need when we aim to be global citizens, when we aim to understand and address global challenges. In the words of one of the most inspiring advocates of critical pedagogy, Paulo Freire, the pursuit of full humanity cannot be carried out in isolation or individualism, but only in fellowship and solidarity. Full humanity, defined and analyzed in different ways by many scholars across the ages and across the globe, but always with love and kindness center stage. Love and kindness, so vital to the common human experience that drives us all, but rarely discussed in academic programs. How do you spell love? Asked Piglet. You don't spell it, you feel it, answered Winnie the Pooh. Feelings or emotions are often framed to be the opposite of rational thought, but many decades of psychological research have proven that this is a false opposition. Emotions and thoughts are not at all as neatly separated as many want to believe. So when we learn about human problems, human behaviors, human institutions, rational thought can never be the only avenue towards understanding and insight. Emotions cannot be separated from the humanity we study, nor from the humanity of those doing the studying. So leave some room for love and emotion in your studies and work. This is not a common or popular piece of advice in academia, and I understand why. Love and emotion sound warm and fuzzy, but they can also be a pain in the butt, as I'm sure your Instagram feed shows you on a daily basis. So for now, let's park the complicated emotions and focus on just one: pride. I know not always uncomplicated either, so simple happiness or plain relief will also do. Pick whichever emotion you want, as long as you enjoy today. Let's get this show on the road.
We have an amazing commencement speaker this year.
Oh wow, who was it?
It's Miss Jahatma Wickramanayake. She was appointed as the UN Secretary General's Envoy on Youth in June 2017 at the age of only 26, and she is the first woman to hold this position.
Oh, I've heard about her. She's originally from Sri Lanka and she worked really hard in her home country to increase the political participation of youth and their development.
All right. In addition, in 2019, Jahatma was recognized by Times Magazine as one of their Time 100 Next Rising Stars Shaping the Future, and in 2020 by Forbes magazine as part of their 30 Under 30 list.
It seems like she really is out there tackling those global challenges. Ms. Wickramanayake, you now have the floor.
Esteemed graduates, faculty and friends, my name is Jahatma Wickramanayake and I am the United Nations Secretary General's Envoy on Youth. I work as an advisor and a representative of the UN Secretary General. It's a pleasure to be joining all of you today virtually for this important occasion. My warmest congratulations to the class of 2021 on all of your successes thus far and for reaching this important milestone in your lives. I was admittedly quite honored when the organizers of today's ceremony first reached out inviting me to join all of you for this commencement. While I've had many opportunities to meet with and speak to audiences and young people around the world in my role at the United Nations, the opportunity to be with you, all of you today, is indeed a special one for me. In bizarre times like these, when we are facing so many limits to coming together physically, I cherish every opportunity I get to connect directly with young people. As an international honors degree based in The Hague, the International City of Peace and Justice, Leiden University College is undoubtedly an invaluable place for you all to be launching your professional careers in tackling some of the world's most important global challenges. As I thought about what to say and what wisdom to share with you all today, I thought I would start on a more personal note. I was born in the southern part of Sri Lanka, and at that time my country was going through a 30-year-long conflict. This naturally had a direct impact on our lives, and it was only when I was 19 years old the conflict finally ended. I remember many bomb attacks and threats, and every day in the news you would see violence and how the conflict was dragging the country and the people away from achieving their dreams and their potential. I used to feel scared and frustrated, but at the same time what upset me most was the fact that this conflict could be resolved by dialogue instead of violent means. So when I was 13 years old, I wrote a poem to a national newspaper about the importance of peace, especially for future generations. After that, I started writing my own essays, letters, and even a small book of stories. That was the starting point for my activism. Circumstances led me to understand issues surrounding young people of the country, but also the globe. But what was inspiring was to find solutions being driven by young people. As I studied and began my career as a civil servant, this journey evolved to encompass development and human rights-based work, yet working with and for young people has always remained a passion of mine. Being the United Nations Envoy on Youth has been a very humbling experience. Every time that I speak and interact with young people, I learn so much and I'm able to better understand their realities. As a part of my work, I'm often asked to describe the lives of young people. And I think of this Charles Dickens quote which captures it the best. It's the best of the times and the worst of the times. What many of you may be surprised to learn is that our world is currently home to the largest population of young people in history, standing at 1.8 billion between the ages of 10 to 24. 90% of this cohort of young people live in developing countries where they mark up large parts of the populations. Together, we make up the largest, the most interconnected, and the most educated generation of young people ever on this planet. But around the world, young people are also facing huge challenges. COVID-19 and the measures adopted by governments to hold its spread have further exacerbated the structural obstacles youth face in reaching their full potential, and it's becoming increasingly clear that the socioeconomic impacts of the pandemic will disproportionately affect young people for years to come. But perhaps more than ever before, the pandemic has also reinforced my deep-seated optimism about young people's resilience and leadership. The fact that you are all here today, graduating for this prestigious institution in the midst of a global pandemic, is indeed itself proof of this. And the examples like this are plentiful. All around the globe, young people have sprung into action and joined the front lines of the response and recovery efforts as first responders, as health workers, leading information campaigns online, offline, supporting the vulnerable in their communities, and so much more. At the same time, I'm sure all of you are also familiar with the sweeping tide of youth-led mass movements we have seen in the recent years. From Fridays for Future to Black Lives Matter to End SARS in Nigeria and right now the protests in Myanmar. To me, evolution of these movements point to something more bigger, a fundamental shift in the way today's young generation are using their power to bring about transformational change. This is something key that I would like to emphasize today as all of you reflect on your studies these past years and as you prepare to enter the professional workforce with all your knowledge, passion and optimism at your disposal. For generations before us, power was something exclusive to a limited number of people, mostly white elite men in suits, as we say. It wasn't something that was shared. It was something that was held on to tightly and exercised in secrecy behind closed doors. Hierarchical, bureaucratic, formal and institutional. But majority of young people I've met perceive power as something else. For them, power is a concept that is disruptive, innovative, interconnected, and entrepreneurial. Power is in transparency, not in secrecy. Power is fluid, not hierarchical. Power is in mobilization, not in institutionalization. This disparity in how different generations have perceived power is further fueled by the polarizing politics that are dividing our societies, a shrinking civic space for civil society, and the spread of fake news, the real-life danger of which has never been clearer than during this pandemic. I have seen a growing mistrust in political institutions and a sense of alienation from elected leaders caused by policies that do not reflect the topics that matter most to today's young people. Simply put, many young people feel trapped in a system that they did not have a hand in creating or that they do not have a say in. If we truly want to bridge this mistrust and build a better future for all, young people must have a seat at the table, including at the United Nations. Multilateralism itself was already under fire before COVID-19 dragged its weaknesses into starker light than ever before. In a statement to the Security Council last year, the UN Secretary General himself conceded that, and I quote, "The pandemic is a clear test of international cooperation, a test we have essentially failed." End of quote. The world needs global leadership today more than ever before. COVID-19 has joined the ranks of other pressing transnational issues such as the climate crisis, extremism, depletion of natural resources, and a terrifyingly fast reduction in our planet's biodiversity, to name a few. All of these are shaping young people's futures and need to be addressed urgently and collectively. It's young leaders like all of you here today who will play a critical role in challenging the status quo, in setting our world on a track for a better, more sustainable future. We, ladies and gentlemen, are at a crossroads. Despite the hardships of the past year, we have an unprecedented opportunity to recover better together, reimagine the status quo, and build a new normal based on values of justice, equality, intersectionality, and sustainability with young people at the front and center. At the same time, I think it's also important to recognize the privilege that all of us here today have had in accessing higher education. I have no doubt that all of you will go on to do exciting and impressive things in your future professional endeavors, building on the strong foundations you have gained here in your studies. As you do so, the best advice I can give is to continue sharing your power, sharing your privilege, holding decision makers accountable for their promises, which will continue to impact you and the generations to come, and to advocate for more young people to be represented where decisions are being made. Putting diverse voices around the table is the only way to ensure we do not repeat or continue to perpetuate past mistakes. As the global leaders of today and tomorrow, you are all uniquely positioned to help make this happen. To conclude, I really want to emphasize what I see as the core of everything I do at the United Nations. To be a young person in today's rapidly changing world means that you are the expert of your own reality. It means that through positive disruption, you can challenge the status quo and change the world. The idea that young people are change makers is not just a marketing campaign. It is, in fact, a fact. Thank you so much for having me today, and my sincere congratulations once again, and I wish all of you the very best for your future endeavors.
We're now on the 4th floor of LUC. We actually wanted to film outside and show you the beautiful terrace, but we're in the Netherlands, it's raining, so unfortunately we weren't able to. Nonetheless, we want to thank Ms. Bricker-Manayake for her beautiful speech. We will surely take her words with us when we leave LUC.
Definitely. This next section will be the presentation of the Global Citizenship Award. Of course, we've all been working on our global citizenship over the past 3 years, whether it's by taking Spanish 100 or by going on a holiday to East Africa. But some students really have been going above and beyond in working in community building, not just inside, but also outside of LUC. This award is for the student who worked most on community building, and Sarah Hinman will now be presenting the award.
Annually, the LUC community is asked to nominate students in the graduating class who exemplify what it means to be a global citizen. This award seeks to acknowledge an individual who actively demonstrates our college's goal for students to engage with their community in all of its meanings, both within and beyond LUC. This is a fitting aim for a program focused on global challenges that aspires to build knowledge for a better world. What better way to build knowledge than through putting oneself out there to work with others, in service to others, and learn while trying to bring about positive change. Through coursework and the residential concept of LUC, students have many formal and informal opportunities to explore elements of citizenship in a challenging global society. For this award, we seek students who demonstrate the qualities of active engagement, responsive and responsible participation in civic and/or community building within and beyond LUC. All of the nominees for this year's award engage with these aims in one way or another. The nominations for the 2021 Arnout van Linden Global Citizenship Award mentioned many valuable activities in which students participate, including within the residential system at LUC, working as parts of groups within LUC and beyond that address issues of women's empowerment, race, plastic waste, and other sustainability issues. Nominees have participated directly in making the LUC academic program and community stronger in direct and indirect ways. Every year, the Global Citizenship Award Committee has the chance to learn yet more about what our students have been doing during their time at the college, and the nominees, like all of our graduates, are busy individuals. Yet since the nominees, along with the rest of the class of 2021, are graduating, clearly everyone has been studying hard too. Now, in this unprecedented academic year, the award committee made an unprecedented decision. This year, the Arnout van Linden Global Citizenship Award will be given to 2 students who both represent the award's ideals through concrete and direct efforts in community engagement, both within and beyond our college community. I will outline each of the students' contributions to leave you on the edge of your seats a bit longer, although I can say that both recipients are described by those who know them as having a contagious energy about them that lifts others up and brings them into community. The first recipient stands out due to her contributions in helping to found the Women in Leadership and Innovation organization. Additionally, she has served on the program council, where she consistently offered level-headed and thoughtful ideas to improve the program. She was a delegate to the Girls 20 Global Summit and represented Leiden University at the One World Youth Summit. and she has made a pitch to Google while on exchange at Berkeley, to name only a few of her achievements. The nominations highlighted her abilities to encourage confidence in her classmates and to help to lift up those around her. The second recipient stands out particularly in her direct efforts to bring the LUC community together, particularly during this difficult past academic year. But that is not all. She is a member of World Class The Hague, where she is working to create a peace prize fitting for the City of Peace and Justice. Additionally, she is working to bring attention to discrimination against Asians in Europe with her involvement in Asian Voices Europe. What all of you mostly know this recipient for are her contributions closer to home at LUC, where she has served as a Fortuna board member, head mentor in the 2020 online intro week. She is on the graduation committee, and from what the award committee and nomination said of her key contributions this year as a member of the Lustern Committee and a key organizer of the Terrace Concert. This is just a brief summary of her recent activities, and from my own observations, I believe this recipient may just be a force of nature full of positive energy. So without further ado, much deserved and many, many congratulations to Jennifer Pfister and Diva Estanto. You both fully represent LUC's ideals of global citizens.
So sadly it's raining and we can't show you the square, but that won't stop us from telling you about our favorite memories on our beloved square, Anna van Burenplein. So all of us LUC students have quite some memories here. From basic things as getting your daily much needed coffee at Douwe Egberts to seeing the first snow in your life. Or as our class representative did, screaming very loudly for the coolest event of the year, the Dies Fatalis. Talking about our class representative, she is one of the most positive people in our year, and she's someone who always manages to make other people smile. It's Sol Bassaran van Ham.
We are very happy to have her here. Not only will she be the contact between the university and the alumni community, but she will also give us a speech in a little bit.
Yeah, actually, let's get this set ready for the speech. I know a magic trick.
Let's see it.
Oh, that actually worked. Well, let's get our class representative up in here. Sol, go take the floor.
My year, LUC class of 2021 has taught me many things. For instance, how to cheat Brightspace and see the discussion of other students before submitting yours. You submit it blank and later you edit it. Or that an Albertine to go Be Fit yogurt is the best thing after a night out. However, there are two lessons that my class has taught me that I find really relevant. Firstly, that we need community in our lives, and that this makes life more fun. LUC would be less fun if we were not able to continuously complain to others about how tired we are. It would also be less fun without the parties that the person living above your ABB room would organize at 3 a.m. on a Sunday before a deadline. My class has also taught me that community makes us thrive. I'm sure that much of our self-growth these past 3 years has been because we have been continuously surrounded by people. But mainly, my class has taught me that community makes hard times a little bit less hard. In the past year and a half, it seemed that the only thing that we had left of the LUC experience was academics. However, our class managed to keep the community alive, making this pandemic less hard. Even if everything had to be online, we managed to maintain the spirit of events like the pantomime, intra-week, Dies Fatalis, and pass it on to the next generations of LUC. Thanks to this, first years, even if we only know the name or one or two, know what LUC really is about. Class of 2021 has taught me another extremely valuable lesson. Namely, that every single person has a different path. And I know it sounds cliche, but we should just follow our own path because that is what will make us happy and make our lives meaningful. Maybe we all started LUC thinking we would be Secretary General of the UN, but now we have discovered that other paths are better for us, such as working at sushi time. In these past 3 years, many of us have found causes to be passionate about that others never even stop to question, like insects, rivers, or Catholic nuns. Others are still in the process of figuring it out. But what is clear is that for each person, this is something different. These are the two things that my class of 2021, has taught me. In a world where many people live individualistic lives or seek things like money and comfort rather than happiness or passion, these lessons are extremely valuable. I am really grateful. Thank you, class of 2021, and congratulations.
So now we're at Coasters, which is definitely one of my favorite places at LUC, and that's mainly because of all the cool events that we've had here. So what's your favorite?
My favorite has to be the drag race, which is held right here on floor 1, and it's just such a great celebration, and I love it every year.
My favorite would definitely be the Halloween parties, because why else would you have an excuse to dress up as Winnie the Pooh and go party in your own university building?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think my favorite would be the karaoke nights and all of us just getting together, singing Piano Man, watching Adam Cuban rap on stage. I think that was definitely my favorite moment.
As you can hear, many talents are celebrated at LUC, not only here at Coasters with students showing their dance skills, Strofest, drag race, exhibitions right here on floor 1, and even despite the pandemic, the talents at LUC have not been forgotten.
And of course, this graduation would not be an LUC graduation without some performances in it as well. So we're now going to watch some dazzling performances to give this graduation a bit more swing.
Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby.
If you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far.
Don't worry, baby,
just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You won't have to worry, cause baby,
there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. Remember the day I set you free, I told you you could always count on me. From that day on, I made a vow, I'll be there when you want me some way, somehow. Cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. Oh no, baby.
no wind, no rain, no winter's cold can't stop me, baby.
If you're ever in trouble, I'll be there on the double. Just stand for me, oh baby.
My love is alive, way down in my heart, although we are miles apart.
If you ever need a helping hand, I'll be there on the double, just as fast as I can. Don't you know that there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. Know that there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe.
We're now at Café Almando. It's a place where LUC students write, relax, enjoy a snack, get their daily dose of caffeine, and have written their capstones over the past semester. One important skill underlying all those essays LUC students have written over the past years is academic writing.
Over the past 3 years, our academic writing hopefully got a bit better. At least I can say that my Dunglish has gone a little bit less bad. But some people have really excelled in academic writing and are now writing like true academics. For those people, we have the Braille Prize, the prize for the most well-written capstone. The prize is awarded each year by the Brill Nijhoff Institute, the writing institute at LUC. The prize is for that capstone that excels through its original approach and well-written manner. The prize is awarded to one student each year.
It will now be presented by Jacqueline Hilkema, the convener of the academic writing course at LUC.
As you all know, writing holds a very important place at LUC, and this is reflected by our collaboration with the publishing house Braille, which has supported academic writing at our college from the very beginning, now 10 years ago. Braille's belief in LUC, its students and their writing, is further underlined by the Braille Prize, which is given every year to that capstone that stands out in terms of the quality of its research and writing, the originality of its approach, and last but not least, its societal relevance and possible impact. Every year, the majors can nominate one candidate that they believe meets these criteria best. This year's nominations are Emma Vrieswijk for HD CHS, Kaya van der Horst for IJ, Hendrik van Hout for WP, Tessa Dole for EES, and finally Emma Eierman for GED. Now, from public toilets to microplastics, these capstones together illustrate the huge range of subjects that we study at LUC. As the head of the jury, I had the great pleasure of reading all of them, and really, however different they may be in terms of their subject and approach, what they have in common is that they are all excellent. Every single one, the writing is extraordinary. However, there can only be one winner, and it gives me great pleasure to announce that the winner of this year's Braille Prize is Emma Eierman for GED. Now, Emma, congratulations. This is a truly excellent capstone. The writing is so extraordinarily clear that it looks effortless. And it can't have been. I cannot imagine how much time and effort you invested into researching this, translating your data into a scenario, producing those wonderful graphs. It is an excellent piece of work that pushes boundaries and could, in fact should, have an impact on how the EU combats climate change. It is a very deserving winner. Congratulations, Emma. Very well done.
So now we're at another one of our favorite places, which is the bar gyms. We always used to go here after coasters on Tuesdays and Thursdays to have a beer, have a chat, have a good time, and just, vibe together. And besides, there's not really much else to do on the street now, is there?
The past year has been tough for us LUC people, but overall, LUC has been a really good time. We've made a bunch of memories, and whether it's from the ski trip to our nights at Havana's and Miller's, it has been really fun. And thank God for modern technology, because now we have all these photos and videos to remind us of all the memories we made. And we're now going to watch a few of these memories together.
Okay, describe your LUC experience in one sentence.
Very nice, learned a lot, but still, very intense.
The train rack that was on fire and we learned stuff? ?
It was like the Dutch weather.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes really good, sometimes kind of not what you want it to be. Chaotic at the beginning and chaotic at the end.
Long but short. I think I really grew up here.
It's definitely worth having.
So getting like a free trial period for adulthood.
Enlightening.
A blast!
A stressful but fun ride.
It was a wild ride.
With very low lows and very high highs.
It basically just went, and then I'm graduating now and it's going.
What was the moment you started to feel at home at LUC?
I called ABB my home when I was coming on my way back. from my original home.
When I see Sim's face in the elevator, when Diva actually kept her door open.
When I met my friends. I think it was like coming back after winter break and then finally realizing you're part of the community.
How would you describe the class of 2021 in one word?
Driven.
Passionate.
Kind.
Lovely.
Smart.
Eccentric.
Exciting.
Existing.
Unique.
Cozy.
Great bunch of people.
What are you guys gonna miss the most after leaving LUC?
The people.
The people, my friends.
The people, my friends.
Friends. Yes, the people.
The community.
Yeah, I think the people. Friends. How easy it is to meet up.
Yeah.
Definitely the people.
But also friends.
Going to miss just like the community.
The way that we interact with one another.
Say just getting a beer at Coasters, even though we've not been able to go.
What are your thoughts on Piano Man?
It's a Coasters tradition.
Sucks ass.
Loves. Love it. It's great.
Best song ever.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Oh, I'm nostalgic as hell.
Good when you've had enough drinks.
It makes me want to leave.
Would you like to see it on graduation?
No.
I would.
When you take that jump, you don't feel the flow. Hope when the water rises, you build a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, it's screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay. Hope that you fall in love and it hurts so bad. The only way you can know is give it all you have. And I hope that you don't suffer and take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you say, to spend your days, but they all light up. And when the sun goes down, I hope you raise your cup. Oh, I wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. But until my moment comes, I'll say,
Class 2021, we made it!
Keep in contact. See you on Facebook.
Like every time you feel like you experience something not nice, just remember it gets you where you eventually want to be.
Don't stress. Everything will be fine.
Just do your best. That's enough.
So go out and enjoy.
Good luck.
I did, yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I live.
Millers now, which you probably know from just one too many Tequila Tuesdays. So as you just saw in the video, throughout our 3 years we were working really hard on getting those tequilas down and getting those beers down, but some others were working really hard on getting good grades.
One of those is the very own valedictorian of the class of 2021. They will receive the award for the highest academic achievement. This took 3 years of hard work and dedication to academics. They will now be announced, and then the valedictorian will give their speech.
My name is Joris Larik, and I have the privilege to present this year's Highest Academic Achievement Award. The award is for the student with the highest final GPA within this cohort. And this year, the award goes to Peter Teer, which makes him also the valedictorian of the class of 2021. Before I say a few words about Peter, allow me also to say a few words about the meaning of this award. Let me start with what it doesn't mean. Does it mean, we put you all in a rat race together? Peter came through the finish line first. He's the winner who takes it all. He's the only one now who will get a job because of this award? Of course not. Maybe obvious, but sometimes my colleagues and I have learned it's good to keep pointing out these obvious things to our LUC students. Now, the meaning of the award is chiefly this for us. Seeing an LUC cohort progress from first year, just starting out at university, and then moving all the way to this moment right here, the graduation, is really a wonderful thing to behold. You have this hardworking, committed, motivated group of students that form a community and genuinely care about global challenges. It's kind of the undergraduate equivalent to watching the Champions League, or the National Ballet, or your favorite synchronous TikTok dancers. I don't know, whatever cultural reference works for you, but you catch my drift. It's a joint, collective effort at a very high level. It's like climbing a steep learning curve together. And also this year there were several excellent academic performances in this group of students. So I also want to make special mention to Umayma Ralem in view of her outstanding academic performance, achieving the highest cumulative GPA. So congratulations, Umayma, for that. In sum, so the highest academic achievement award goes to the student who just comes in first in a long line of winners who've all achieved great things. But now on to Peter himself, our 2021 valedictorian. So Peter is considered a first-rate student by his lecturers. Always hardworking, willing to go the extra mile, doing that extra interview, but also always willing to help and be open to others, reading their capstones, for instance, also for the summer cohort, when he had already finished his for the winter capstone deadline. Peter majored in governance, economics and development, and he wrote his capstone thesis under the supervision of Dr. David Zetland on the topic of South Korea's pursuit of so-called mammoth enterprises and how that later on would make that country much more vulnerable during the Asian financial crisis. In addition to raking in top grades in courses like quantitative research methods, game theory, economics of the European Union, Peter did not shy away also from being very active in extracurricular activities. Among other things, he was a delegate to the Netherlands Asia Honors Summer School. He was a board member of LUC's events committee. He was a student assistant in the quantitative research methods course, and arguably, most importantly, bartender and floor manager at the Coasters Bar. Since Peter is also an avid and very successful basketball player, I think we can sum up his 3 years at LUC in this way. Both academically and beyond, it was a true slam dunk. Thus, it's with great pride that I present the award and pass the floor to our valedictorian for 2021, Peter Teer. Congratulations, Peter.
Thank you. Dear fellow graduates, family, friends, and staff, I'm honored to be able to give this speech for you all, and I'd like to start off with a sincere congratulations to the class of 2021. We've made it through. That in itself is already a real achievement. We, as class, have undoubtedly had one of the most peculiar LUC careers out of any graduating class. During the first half of it, we were able to enjoy the vibrant life of the AVB building, including an in-person UCSRN, 2 in-person galas and a Dies Vitalis, and numerous in-person coasters parties. From an academic perspective, these were the years that we really got to experience that which sets LUC apart from other programs. Intensive, engaged, high quality, in-person teaching in small-scale classes. However, that in-person time at LUC was abruptly cut in almost half. The second 1.5 years of our bachelor's we spent behind our laptops on Zoom, Cultura, and Teams. In any valedictorian speech of a class that went through what we went through, this has to be mentioned. We showed great resilience and we've gotten through it. However, as I'm sure we've all discussed it extensively enough by now, I won't spend too much time on this besides a sincere well done. When asked to deliver this speech, I took some time to think about what perspectives I would like to share. What can I tell you, my fellow graduates, that you haven't thought of yourselves 1,000 times already? In the end, I boiled it down to this. I'd like to say something about unrealized potential, and more specifically, the responsibility we have as LUC graduates to turn unrealized potential into actual successes and impact. When you're young, when you're still a kid, all you are is potential. The future remains yours. Children can become anything they've ever dreamed of. And this feeling of having your future undefined so one can think, great things are ahead, without having to specify what those great things actually are. One can enjoy greatly. This feeling can almost be addicting. For me personally, I realized that this feeling also played a key role in my decision to come to LUC to study liberal arts and sciences. Aside from an interest in a wide range of topics, subconsciously I was reluctant to pick a specific direction because it meant strongly narrowing the scope of broad, unrealized potential. By picking one defined path, it felt as if I'd have to let go of the 99 other paths and let go of the potential to become anything. In some sense, when coming to LUC, I wasn't ready to trade in that feeling. Now we're 3 years further. We're done with LUC, and we, once again, turn to the future. Now is the time to be reminded that there comes a point at which we have the responsibility to our close ones, to society, but also to ourselves, to really start letting go of this unrealized potential and convert it into something more meaningful, more tangible. At LUC, in this graduating class, it has humbled me to meet some of the most talented, most inspiring people I've ever encountered. People with enormous amounts of this broad, unrealized potential. People whom I believe can have a real impact, that can bring forth real change in this world, and that can help combat these global challenges that become more pressing with each year that passes. To do so, however, we need to have the courage to go for it. We need to dare to roll up our sleeves and make actual choices. Dare to let go of that pleasant feeling that broad, unrealized potential provides. We, as LUC graduates, have the responsibility to take such risks, really pick a path for ourselves, let go of the addiction to unrealized potential, and convert it into something more meaningful, more lasting. Actual successes, actual growth, and hopefully actual impact. And lastly, to be fully honest, I cannot yet say with full certainty that I know what the future holds for me. I do know that I look forward to seeing where this responsibility to make choices will take me. And perhaps even more so, I look forward to seeing what some of you will go on to do. I'm certain it will be astonishing. Class of 2021, thank you for an amazing 3 years. And good luck out there.
So we're now at Wijnhaven, and it may actually be one of our last times here. So how are we feeling about that?
Well, I'm not really sad to be leaving Wijnhaven, but I am kind of sad that our time at LUC has come to an end, because it's been a good 3 years, right?
Yeah, definitely. But luckily, you never truly leave the bubble.
No, because from now on, we'll be joining LUC's alumni community, and we'll be joining Evolucio, the alumni network, where we can reconnect with old friends and bring up memories from the good old days in the bubble. We will now be introducing Maxime Bouwman, who is International Hubs Manager at Evolucio, and will tell us a bit more about the ins and outs of the LUC alumni community.
Honorable guests, staff, and most importantly, class of 2021. Today, it's exactly 5 years ago I stood where you are now, about to graduate, surrounded by my family, friends, and classmates. All I remember is thinking, as we were lined up backstage to walk up to the stage, just don't cry and don't trip up the stairs in front of everyone. Somehow this feels like both yesterday and a lifetime ago. The phrase, "what a year it's been, huh?" has been said so often I've almost forgotten we used to start our conversations by discussing the weather. But hey, what a year it's been, huh? Even though you've experienced normal college life for a while, you also did this crazy college during pandemic thing. And graduating like this probably wasn't how you were expecting or maybe even hoping to finish your undergrad here at LUC. However difficult, scary, or even lonely this past year has been, I hope you can reflect on the fact that you've made it through. You've shown resilience, focus, and dedication. You've grown and you've become stronger, and for that alone, you can be so proud of yourselves. Graduating LUC may be an exciting feeling for some, yet a daunting feeling for others. It may seem like everyone around you knows what they want out of life and have carefully calculated their next steps. And for those of you that do, amazing! I'm glad that these past few years have affirmed your passion and have clarified what concrete steps you can take to get to where you want to go. But for those of you who have no idea what to do after this day, don't worry. I'm a big believer of things finding ways to work out. Of course, you have to put in hard work and keep growing as a person, but just know that there are so many ways to do that. See today as writing the last page of chapter 1. From now on, whatever you do, wherever you go, you have the foundation that LUC has provided you to fall back on. But how to write the next chapter is completely up to you. And the good thing is, there's no right or wrong here, because we're talking about your path and yours only. It can be that you're thinking of taking a break from education and exploring what the world has to offer. Taking a job locally. Doing that internship that sounds amazing but might not 100% match with your major at LUC. Or starting the master's program that you've been working so hard to get into. Even though it's your future you're about to embark on, know that you're not alone, because so many have gone before you. Today, by flipping your tassel, you automatically become a member of LUC's alumni network, Evolutio, a network that is filled with people who understand your struggles and successes and have been able to use that to do the most amazing things. Use this network to get or to keep in touch with your major buddies, your classmates, your floor mates, basically the people that have gotten you through these past few years. And, if you like, contribute to help and inspire generations of LUC alumni to come. So, without further ado, on behalf of the Evolutio board and its community, I can say nothing else but congratulations, good luck, and welcome to the rest of your life.
Dear graduate of the class of 2021, congratulations! You've successfully graduated from LUC and have obtained your bachelor's degree. Today, one door closes, but another one opens. New adventures await, with new friends to be made and new places to discover. Soon, LUC will fade to become a distant memory, but one we hope you will treasure daily.
You may be leaving LUC, but you will always be part of this community. Therefore, we would like to welcome you to Evolutio, LUC's alumni network. And we, as the Evolutio board, are very happy to have you aboard.
Whatever your next steps may be, Evolutio is here to help. You can use our network to connect, reconnect, and interact with your old classmates. Or maybe you want to meet new alumni that you may have never met before.
Might work in places you're applying to for an internship, or have made it into that dream traineeship that you thought was out of reach. Or they may even know everything about the school that you're looking into doing your master's at.
Inside the goodie bag that you received for graduation, there is a flyer about Evolutio. You can find us on our website, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. We'll keep you posted on there about job and internship opportunities, as well as interviews with your fellow alumni.
Also keep an eye on your mailbox for a quarterly newsletter and invites to networking events to bring you back to LUC. Of course, we also host online events. The next one is coming up soon, and we hope to see you there.
Hey Dan!
Hey! We're now in a very recognizable place at LUC, infamous even, the elevators. You wouldn't say, but on a busy Monday morning, this elevator can fit about 20 students. Even the staff, who only have to take a couple of stairs usually, love to take these elevators.
Love them or hate them, the LUC staff have been a major part of our life at LUC. Not just the professors, but also the support staff are who have enabled us to learn about all these global challenges. And at first they might seem scary and intimidating, but after 3 years of watching on our TikTok dances at the DS, watching Kai and the Tutu at the Panto, or having drinks with Ed after a course, we feel like we've got to know them a little bit.
So now we'll show you a short video as a message from the staff to the students.
Well done everyone. I'm going to keep this short and sweet and just impart some wisdom from my favourite professor, Albus Dumbledore, to guide you as you leave the hallowed halls of LUC. And as he says, remember, it is not our abilities that show what we truly are, it is our choices. So make interesting, worthwhile, and exciting choices as much as you can. Congratulations and all the best.
Hello, graduating class. It's Barry Sander here with my daughter Valentina. Hello. We just wanted to wish you a massive, massive congratulations for graduating. It's a really amazing achievement. You've all done so well. You've been through so much, especially in the most challenging of circumstances. But you've made it. Congratulations. And please stay in touch for the future. Wishing you all the very best. Thanks very much. Say goodbye, Valley.
Bye-bye. Congratulations to the class of 2021. It's amazing. You guys, I'm so proud of you and all that you've accomplished in your 3 years at LUC. And I can't wait to hear what you're going to be up to in the coming years. So don't be strangers. Keep in touch. And know how proud all of the faculty are of you and what you've accomplished in your time at LUC. Take care and good luck with everything in the future. Bye.
Hello, everyone. This is the last recording I make for you. I had some of you in classes this year. So here from the same place that I've been for several months, I farewell you and I send you my best wishes for what may come. I want to give you as a gift, as a farewell gift, 2 small poems from the Canadian poet Rupi Kaur from the last book, Homebody. Now that you're free and the only obligation you are under is your own dreams, what will you do with your time? Think about it. And make choices that make you happy. Last one. You have only scratched the surface of what you're capable of. There are decades of victories ahead of you. Salut.
Dear students, I'm addressing you today from the place I spent most of my time in during the last months, namely my home office. This last 1.5 years has been unique in ways we could have never imagined, or did not want to imagine. You can be very proud of yourselves. Not only are you graduating today, but you managed to graduate during an unprecedented global pandemic. Let's hope there's some return to normal soon and we can catch up in person. But for now, do not forget to enjoy this moment. You really deserve it. Happy graduation.
Greetings to the class of 2021 and congratulations on graduating. And yeah, I wish I could be there. I wish that we all could be there, and that is kind of annoying that we're only doing these video things. And I wish that the last year, of course, was face-to-face, but good news is the time ahead looks like it is going to be face-to-face. The world, the opening, the reopening. So enjoy your newfound freedom, enjoy your first step into adulthood and choices, and make good choices, but do take risks, because otherwise you're never going to explore all of life. So stay in touch, good luck, and congratulations again.
Congratulations, class of 2021. On behalf of all of the support staff, we want to wish you all the best on your next steps. We will miss you wandering the hallways, helping us out on different activities and events, being very creative as you have been for the last year as well. We will miss your enthusiasm and the raging third years throughout this pandemic heading into the real world. I want to thank all of you guys also who have helped me out through the last 3 years, being student ambassadors, participating and volunteering in all the activities that we do, and jumping along the way with all the crazy ideas that we come up with. So thank you to all of you. Keep in touch and come and visit us once in a while.
Congratulations, class of 2021. Wishing you all the best as you graduate from LUC and continue on to new adventures.
Congratulations, 2021 LUC graduates. For those students who had the privilege to teach or supervise remotely over the last 1.5 years, this light fixture has been casually hanging out in the background all the time. In fact, you saw this light fixture more than you saw my shoes. So instead of wearing fancy shoes like we're supposed to at graduation, I decorated my light fixture to celebrate you. You looked at it in the background of long pre-recorded lectures about process tracing. It was there as you workshopped your research questions again and again. It was there for engaging discussions about how immigration affects social policy output, or about whether decentralization is really just a fancy form of austerity. It was there as you shared your explorations about data coloniality and its impact on our research and teaching. It was there as you discussed your capstones. It heard all about Bordeaux's forms of capital, teachers' migration backgrounds, social investment, media coverage of credit rating agencies. It heard about intersectionality and undeclared labor, and about the public works program in Hungary. It heard discussions about whether Vietnamese social policy follows the compensation hypothesis or the productivist one. So way to go, class of 2021. We'll miss you and look forward to hearing about the journeys and adventures that lie ahead.
Dear students from the class of 2021, many congratulations on your graduation. Well, this was certainly not the year you have been expecting. It's a very tough year, a very unusual year, a scary year as well. And this makes it all the more impressive what you've achieved, especially in these past 12 months with the capstone and all the courses. What I could see from the students that I interacted with, it was really impressive to see how hard everybody worked under the circumstances and how well they did. I think this tells me two things. One is I think you're all very well equipped for whatever comes next, the next exciting chapters in your professional careers. And number two, equally importantly, take a break. This is my very professional, well-reasoned advice. You need it, you deserve it, enjoy the sun, read a nice book that's got nothing to do with any of our global challenges, and really take some time off to recover and celebrate your big achievement.
So now we're in a place that we love, that we hate, and that we know just too well. We're back at Wijnhaven. All of us have spent some nights here, some more stressful than others, finishing our deadlines and maybe our capstones. But it was a good balance with the fun life that the building would give us. So this past year has been a bit different for that. Of course, we all know that this year has been difficult for all of us, but there's a group of people who have worked really hard to make the building still a fun experience for those that were living there this year. The RAs. So a big thank you to the RAs who put their all in to make the building a fun and safe space this year, even though they could not be trained for what they had to face. So a big thank you to all of them.
We also need to thank Fortuna and all its committees for their big efforts this year to still try to make the LUC committee fun. It's been really hard, and online borrels can get a little bit tiring sometimes, but they really did their best to keep the LUC committee a fun and inclusive place. So therefore, we want to thank them very much.
Lastly, we want to invite our Dean Forwards once more, Judy Messman, to leave us with some final words.
As this ceremony draws to a close, I would like to take a moment to thank the entire LUC staff and student community for really showing what being an honours college in times of crisis is all about. Being adaptive, creative, generous, and all around fabulous. Now to the graduates. You have just earned yourself a bona fide university degree that can take you many places and opens up a world of opportunities to do what you're passionate about. Passion, something that you all possess in large quantities. Even when the word emotion makes you itchy, the word passion is likely to resonate. It is passion that has driven the world's greatest thinkers and doers. And the passions of these great thinkers and doers were never neutral. They knew where they were going and why. They knew it and they felt it, whether they would like to admit it or not. Some say they prefer neutrality, objectivity, emotional detachment, but this generally just means that opinions and values are hidden and implicit and resistant to explicit scrutiny. Being a good scholar or a good citizen does not mean being neutral, but means showing your humanity. Who are you? What are your passions, ideals, and goals? Then people can engage with your ideals, agree or disagree with you openly, be part of a dialogue from which you can both emerge a little wiser and a little bit more humble. That is humanity. That is social responsibility. Paulo Freire, who I mentioned in my opening, was also a firm believer in not being neutral. In his eyes, being neutral means endorsing the societal status quo. A status quo that I don't think any of you believe is a just one or one worthy of your support. That is why you came to LUC, not to be neutral, but to learn how to contribute to a better world. Good for you. As Dante wrote centuries ago, the hottest places in hell are reserved for those who in a period of moral crisis maintain their neutrality. So now the time has come for you to take your passions to the next level. Through continued education and or entering the job market, we know many of you end up in governmental institutions, so I'll take that as an example. Whether you end up working for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of City Walks, or the Ministry of putting things on top of other things, do so with passion and humanity, and why not, with love.
Thank you, Judy, for your lovely speech. Sadly, our tour of LUC's favorite spots comes to an end here at the Wijnhaven Terrace. So, many students know this terrace from their work breaks to get like a smoke or maybe some fresh air. This is also the place where we'll be graduating in a little bit. However, unfortunately, not all graduating students could be here today. For them, we will show a special video on how they received their well-deserved diplomas.
The time has now come for us to graduate, here on this very terrace. And I can already see the first people coming. See you in a bit, guys!
I want to leave my footprints on the sands of time. No, there was something that I left behind. When I left this world, I leave no regrets. Leave something to remember, so they won't forget. I was here, I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I'm gonna leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I wanna say I lived each day until I die, and know that I did something in somebody's life. The hearts that I've touched will be the proof that I leave, that I made a difference, and this world will see I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I'm gonna leave my mark so